Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Maddie, and today I'm giving you the full comprehensive review on my Rent the Runway experience. Unsponsored. I've been using it for like 3 months now. I've had 30 items. You're seeing one right now. And we're just gonna go through everything, literally all the details, because when I was first looking at this service, I had so many questions that simply the website could not answer. I could not find any answers anywhere else. One, because people just don't post about it. Two, the about on the website is like not as detailed as I would like as somebody who is signing up for a subscription service. And because of that, number three, when you're trying to see, more of how it works and the selection of clothes, you have to subscribe first. So there's that paywall to see the clothes that you will be paying for, essentially. So I'm going to give you the inside scoop because I paid for it. And I can show you, I can bring you to this other side, and expect to hear all the details about Rent the Runway in this video, how it works, a little try on, what the selection is like, pros and cons, is it worth it, and who I think this service would be best for. So when I signed up for the 10 item plan that comes to 2 shipments a month, 5 items per shipment at $144 a month. When you first sign up, your first month is going to be like a deal. It's like less than $100 or something, maybe $99. If I have a referral link, I will also put it in for you below, if for you to decide on if you want to try it or not. And the reason why I even got into this and trying out Rent the Runway was because, one, I heard about Rent the Runway before. I had actually tried it before for the one-time rental, and I wanted to experiment with my style a little bit more because I quit fast fashion a couple of years ago. I still made purchases. In fact, I have a little Aritzia haul in the back there, but I say that's my first fast fashion purchase in like maybe a year. And because I'm just trying to be more sustainable, being able to renew your closet without really getting into the fast fashion. A lot of sustainable fashion brands are like basics, which is great. It's all about, the timelessness and all that of the pieces. But when every sustainable fashion brand is like a basics brand, then it's like I like some things, as you can see, that's a little bit more fun, a little bit more out there. So Rent the Runway is definitely a great place for stuff like that because you get a lot of fun things. But basically experiment, try out pieces without the commitment. So I'm going to put timestamps below for you to jump around, see whatever helps you most. But I am going to start with how it works because this is the question that, if you're on the edge of thinking about it, this is probably what you're most curious about. So the way that this service works now is it is a subscription plan. I don't think this was always the case because, like I said, I used it like way back when to do a one-time rental before, but now it is subscription focused. Before you make an account or anything like that, you have to sign up for a subscription model, and you're like pulling out your credit card and you're paying for it. At the time of me making this video, there is a plan for 5 pieces, for 10 pieces, and for 20 pieces. The 5 pieces per month is 1 shipment a month, and the thing with that one is you are limited to clothing that is retail price at $350 or less. So there's a cap on it. And then for the 10 item option and the 20 item option, which comes at 2 and 4 shipments a month, you can get pieces, clothing items and accessories and bags that are up to $3,000 in retail value. Once you're in there, if you still want to do the one-time rentals, you can do it too. And there's even something else that I got to tell you about later on in the pros section. The day that you sign up is essentially your billing date every month. So whether you do those swaps or not, you're going to get billed on those dates. So for me, as I have been doing the 2 shipments per month, my billing date is on the 11th. It doesn't mean the clothes are due the 11th for return, if that makes sense. Actually, to break down, make things easier, if I do the 2 shipments a month and I start my plan on the 1st of the month, so my billing date is the 1st of the month, I get 2 shipments from this month until the next. But say I've used my second shipment for like the second half of the month, that doesn't mean I have to return it by the 1st of the following month. I hope I'm explaining this properly. I can return it after, and that's okay, but regardless, I would be charged on the 1st. Now, once you sign up for the plan, you get in, you see the actual selection, because when you're browsing on the website without an account, you might see a selection of clothes, but that might not be what's available once you actually get into the portal and see what they can ship to you that is available in your size, etc. But once you have selected your items for that shipment, you get 5 items per shipment unless you choose to add extra. Shipping is so incredibly fast. I don't live near any major cities, and shipping is 2 days for me. So I don't know if it'd be quicker if you live in like a more convenient metropolis area, but even for someone in like a rural place, kind of like myself, it's pretty dang fast. And for returns, it's just as easy. You have this bag right here in which all of the clothing comes. There is a shipping label that they include in the package, and then you can just drop it off at a UPS, or you can also have them pick it up for you. For me though, in my portal, the pickup option never works. So either I drop it off, I really don't mind going out and running errands, because it can be super cute, but if I really do not have the time, I have chatted with them before, and they just like set it in their system somehow for the UPS person to pick it up as they're dropping off my next shipment. So my camera died again. I really need to get a new camera, but this is the shipment we're returning. So I'm just here to show the process, put all the clothes back into how they came, the bag it came with. I'm just gonna fold it up. We put the shipping label right there, the return label, in this little pocket. So just take that out before we it up. There we have it. But aside from those logistics and how everything works in that sense, a lot of people are curious about the selection of the clothes. Let's be real. You want to like the selection that they offer, right? I would say they definitely have a pretty wide selection. I mean, I started this in March of this year, and now it's July. So I've had to, rent out both cold weather clothes as well as summer clothes. So they really got the selection there. They also have very casual clothes and formal clothes. When you do register, they also give you a quiz to find your style. There's like preppy, bohemian. For my most recent shipment, I feel like I did not my best job on, and it's not something that spoke to me completely. Like, this to me is not bad, but it's not really me. Even though I did get compliments on this though, I'm not gonna lie, but still it's like really not completely me. So because of that, I really do think you need to have an eye for what would look good on you or what you think fits you. But even when I felt like it wasn't the best for me, I still am happy with pretty much every item. So you kind of have to have an eye and a feel for what you feel like what you would vibe with. Or it feels like the company has done a little bit of quantity over quality, not in terms of the actual quality of the clothing, because I'm pretty satisfied with most of the clothing I've gotten from them so far. I'm talking about like the style itself, the quality of the style itself. But overall, I'm happy with the variety of things that they have. There have been some really cool pieces that I've gotten that I would not have bought, frankly would not have bought, and it was great to try out. But let's talk about the brands and designers, because it's called Rent the Runway after all. Let me tell you something. They need to change the name. Rent the Runway, in my opinion, is like kind of a very cringy name. Like, I don't like saying this is from Rent the Runway, if you think about it. Not to mention the fact that where's a runway, girl? Because these brands and designers are not runway. I'm sorry to say that. I think they were at Runway at some point, but now they're like accessible luxury designers. Like, they're not like runway tier. They're like, in the middle, I would say. And I'll give you a screenshot of some of the brands they feature. Cute clothes, right? Like Stod, Donnie, I think they have cute clothes, but they're not runway, I don't think. I don't know enough about the fashion world as a business to be making these remarks, but in my mind, it's not runway. It's accessible luxury, a little bit premium, a little bit higher tier brands. Like, yes, that I can agree with. But that screenshot of the brands is directly from their website. So let's talk about the look and feel of their website, the user interface. It's very easy to use. I like all the categories they put you in, and if you're looking for something very specific, it's very easy to find. They have the filters. You can filter by color, you can filter by the weather, you can filter by like sleeve length or dress length, or you know, all these kinds of details. As long as you have a certain image in mind, I'm sure you will be able to find, you know, something like it. And once they know your size, you're going to see that like automatically filtered out for you every single time. Also, an interesting thing, which is like their algorithm, it gets to know you better, and they recommend what clothes to, you know, push out to you the next time you look for new clothes, or when you're just browsing around to get the best condition clothes, sort by newest. That is a tip, an insider, maybe pro tip. So, all right, I've sat here enough. So let's get into a little try on for my shipment of this month. Just talk about them. Let's chat. This little jacket. Do you see how it kind of just like bends weirdly? Let me know if you think that is like a nitpicky detail, but honestly, it's gone down a little bit since I've been wearing it a ton. But when it first came out, I was like, ooh. Besides that, everything worked perfectly, and it was a cute little jacket. This is the dress that I've been wearing in this video. It is also the last thing I put in this shipment because honestly it was not my first pick. But just as with the other dress, it turned out better than I expected it, and I wore it numerous times. The condition of this is perfect. It's like new. It's like nobody's worn this. I wouldn't even know. Let me move this camera lower. There we go. Oh, that is a lot better. Here is a little spin test. And that is this dress. This is not something I would typically go for, and I would say that is a note for the selection. There are definitely different styles, but they also try not to be like so out there where a wide range of like age demographics could go for it, whether you're 18 or 80. And if you're a company, I do feel like that's a smart thing to do. You want to make sure a wide range of people can wear your clothes and feel comfortable in them. The condition of this dress, no problems at all. I mean, I think the only thing is wrinkles, but that's not really the fault of the company because this dress is 100% cotton. So cotton is just a fabric that kind of naturally wrinkles. Like even if it was perfectly ironed at the beginning of the day, as you go about your day, you're sitting down and stuff like that, and you're moving with the dress, the wrinkles will come. So at the same time, because it's cotton, it's so nice and lightweight. It's just like being its best cotton self. And I don't know if I mentioned this, not something I would typically go for, but it came out much better than I expected. So there are a lot of pleasant surprises along the way. A little lower to this next piece, which is the skirt. And I'm gonna have to cinch my hand in a little bit because the problem with this one was the size. It's a little bit bigger than, you know, what I'm expecting. That's why I said you really need to know your sizes, right? But even then, make sure you have your accessories on hand, like the belts and anything in case you need it for stuff like this where things are just a little bit not the right fit. But the style of this I love. I thought it was such a cute experimental piece to try out. It does attract lint so much, which I don't know if you can see, but the lint is linting. Besides that, the condition is all good in this house. And since we're here, the next thing I got was this necklace, and this is how they give the jewelry to you. Just as with bags, they put it in a bag for bags. What are those called? Dust bags. But this is a necklace I got. It's so cute with the beads and everything. But then I realized I probably shouldn't be spending money to rent out beaded necklace because it's not worth it. Beads are just plastic, so why did I pay for this? But you know, it's summer, so I was looking for something cute and colorful, and this I wore like literally every day. But I'm on the way of shipping it back, so you can see how it's packaged for that. And that's it on that. Hopefully that little try on was interesting. Next, let's talk about the pros and cons of what my thoughts are on, from my experience of Rent the Runway, before talking about if I think this was worth it. So the biggest pro for me right off the top of my head was the ability to try out and experiment with different type of clothes. And as somebody who gets bored of my clothes, if I'm gonna be honest, this was such a great option. A lot of patterns, interesting designs, and if you're going out for events and like there's event wear, formal wear, those gowns, like those are things that you're not going to wear often, and you're not going to wear frequently, and you're not going to wear a lot if you're like me and you get, you know, kind of bored of clothes like that, but yet you still like clothes like that. I thought that was a great pro. Another pro of this was the quality of the clothing. Everything except for a story I'll tell you in the cons part. Most everything is in such great condition, and the quality of it is genuinely so much better than fast fashion clothes, which you should expect. You know, for a fast fashion dress, a dress might have, you know, one lining and then that's it. But for these more premium brands, for these more accessible luxury brands, like, they'll have another lining in the dress. Those things really do make a difference in how you feel in your clothes, and also the fabrics of your clothes. There are definitely still clothes with polyester, which is just like so insane to me. That's not really Rent the Runway's problem, it is just the fashion industry problem and more higher brands adopting polyester. But regardless, there's less of that there. The convenience of it is great in terms of getting your clothes, returning your clothes, very fast and quick. It doesn't really add anything to your day. Another pro, and I guess I'm listing out so many pros, which I didn't even think about, is the sustainable aspect of it. It's kind of arguable because, you know, the shipping does have emissions. On the other hand, it's like these clothing pieces, they get more of a lifespan. It's kind of part of a sharing economy, if you will. The brands in Rent the Runway aren't really fast fashion, so you're not really contributing to that as well. Of course, this is not so black and white when we're talking about sustainability, but these are some of the pros in that aspect. So you get to try out new clothes with a more sustainable approach. And the final pro, which I don't think anybody talks about enough with Rent the Runway and renting services in general, is not having to clean the clothes. Actually, this reminds me, people might have questions about having stains on clothes. If you can, try to get as much out as you can, but I also try not to like ruin the clothes if it's not something I'm familiar with. And they have pros to do the stain removing, to do the dry cleaning, to take care of it. So that's kind of also the great thing. You don't have to really think about cleaning your clothes unless you wear it, you know, so much that you would have to clean it yourself while you're like in between wears. Now let's talk about some cons. The first con that I can think of is sometimes finding pieces that you like really love. Goes into the second con, not everything is available. Not everything will always be in your size. If it's not out there and you're looking to get a shipment out, like, you're going to find something else. And finding things, deciding on things, if you're kind of indecisive like me, can take a long time. Like, I've spent hours on this website, but I've always been very happy in the end with what I picked, even if it's not what I originally wanted. And honestly, I don't have any other cons except for this one, but it might be big depending on what you think about it, and this goes to my story time, is sometimes the condition of the clothes are questionable. On one of the first shipments, or the first shipment that I ordered, I got this super cute, what I thought a tweed short sleeve blazer kind of thing. When I first put it on, great, fantastic. And then the second time when I wore it, because the first time I just like tried it on for a couple seconds, but when I really wore it, and thank God I wasn't like gonna be close to people and I was just wearing it for fun, there was a little bit of a smell that came from it. Somebody was sweating a lot in that, and it smelled so bad. It was unacceptable, and I couldn't take it anymore. And one, that should never be accepted if your clothing has a smell and body odor to it. But what I did is I contacted their customer service. I was like, this actually reeks. What do I do with this? And they basically just offered to add an extra spot on my next shipment. So instead of 5 spots, they gave me 6 for the next time. That was perfectly fine with me. But if you are looking for things for, you know, events you're going to throughout your time, or places you need to be, people you need to be seeing, and if something you're banking on turns out to have something like that, and the only thing that they can do is add a spot to your next shipment, that's going to be bad news for you, right? Maybe you could wear something else from your shipment, but if you're like banking on an item, sometimes it just doesn't work out. Something else that happened was, for one, that the jacket that I got from this shipment, which you saw from the try on part, there was like signs of wear. It's nothing, you know, detrimental, but little folds of the clothes, and you're just like, it folds up, so it's not in this like new condition. I would say it's in like good condition, but when you're renting clothes, I think you'd want it to be in like new condition. It's because of the way that, you know, some fabrics are and where over time things start bunching up and being weird and all of that. That is something you might have to accept as a part of your piece. But what I know is the customer support is really good. Like, they might refund a portion of that month for you, or they might add a spot to your next shipment. But it's really on you to be vocal about that and you express that. Let's wrap this up with, is it worth it and who I think this is best for. So like I mentioned before, I started with the 10 item plan, but now this month just started literally today. I downgraded to 5 items. I didn't see the need for the 10 items a month, and so I'm just gonna see how the 5 items go for now. Maybe I will go back up to 10 in the future. Who knows, that can change. But overall for me, I mean, I've been on this for 3 months and I do really like the experience. I love trying on the new clothes, so for me it is worth it. I haven't tried the other rental services, so I might try that in the future, like Fashion Pass. I don't think I'm gonna try Nuuly because they're like literally part of fast fashion. Even though they have cute stuff, they're part of fast fashion. I don't know enough about Fashion Pass to decide if I should. I've never disliked anything, actually, now that I think about it, but there are pieces that just like blow the rest out of the water, that even like if I just had one piece, it would have been worth it for that month. Oh, and then the hack I wanted to say is, if you're not interested in renting, you can actually buy their inventory that's on the way out. They're at a pretty steep discount from their original retail price because people have worn it and it's not new. I haven't used this myself, but I've seen so many people actually say like this is their gate kept secret. It might be a place to check out. Overall, I think who this is really good for is people who are like myself, who are looking to try out new things, people who like trying on new things, people who want to experiment with their style, they want to go a little bit out there with their clothes. I think this is for them. If you have a ton of events always, I think this is also great for that. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if you're looking to start, if you've been using it, your thoughts. I hope this video was helpful, and with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.